Alright, hello everyone. My name is Jane Lee, Assistant Professor of Sociology at Arkansas State University, Department of Sociology and Criminology. It's my great pleasure to meet you, even though we are meeting in the AOS format. So it's my great pleasure to meet you for this course to the Introduction of Sociology. So you may have different instructor other than me, but this course, I mean the lecture materials and the lecture videos and the lecture slides and assignments, and these are created by myself. So you may have a different instructor, but they will follow my guideline. But anyway, I'm happy to meet you by this course. So by this course, by the Introduction of Sociology, I will introduce many basic concepts and how to apply those concepts to the real the world based on the sociological concepts. So in the next part of this video, I will introduce the basic and also the elements of this course so that you can have the better sense about this course. Alright. So based on this video, I will introduce about the contents and the basic purposes and some of the assignments based on schedule. So based on this video, you will have the better sense about this course. Alright, so as I told you in the previous part of this video, I'm so happy to meet you, even though we are not meeting as in person or the direct lecture and the students. But anyway, it's great opportunity to meet you based on this format. Alright, so this is the introduction of sociology. It means that this is on the very basic part of the sociological course. So you may see many other courses in the list of the sociology courses, but this course will be the very foundations of the later courses. Alright. So basic introduction. So in this video, I plan to introduce about the lecture, what will be the basic and the major elements of this course, and what are the major assignments, and what would be the class schedule look like based on the weekly module schedule. So again, coming back, so my name is Jane Lee. I came from South Korea about 12 years ago. Not 12, almost 12 years ago. So I graduated my BA Sociology and my Master's and the PhD at the University of Maryland with the Population Studies Certificate. And previously coming to the Arkansas State University, I worked at the Gettysburg College, a very small liberal arts college, as a visiting assistant professor. So I joined the Arkansas State University from the spring of the 2023. So it took about 15 hours from my home at Gettysburg in Pennsylvania to the Arkansas Jonesboro. So as I have my family, my wife, and my 2 daughters, and one pet bird, so it was a long journey because it took about 15 hours and it was almost impossible to come at once. So we separated 3 days as the distance is. So now I'm having very great time in Jonesboro in Arkansas at my home and its area. So enjoying the weather and the snowing time and the conferences with my daughter and with my family. So it's been great time in Arkansas. So if you take the courses, you may see what are some credentials you may trust or what are some standards of the qualified class or something. For example, if you buy or if you purchase some items in Amazon, you may see the star ratings. So you may use the star ratings as the standard of the qualification to determine whether that item is good or very bad. So maybe one of the quantifiable or the qualitative and very quality of the course can be determined by the evaluation of the students. So I try to make up all the comments from my previous courses in this university and in my previous institutions like Gettysburg College and also on the University of Maryland. So based on the word cloud counting of the frequent comments of the evaluations, I found students evaluated me as very helpful and experienced and a teacher. So that will be a very the qualitative or the quality interview. And also based on the number. So I found that overall rating of my my course would be very high, because most of the students qualify that my course, or I'm a very good instructor. Excellent and very good, and excellent very good. So you may see that this course will be very good because I would be a very good instructor for this course. Alright, so area of my expertise. So in my research and in my teaching, so I usually study statistics and many of the family and the demographic issues by using the statistical methods. So I'm not teaching the statistics in this course, but if you take some of the statistics courses, you are very likely to meet me. So my major research area is how the macro factors, I mean how some big factors such as economic conditions of the society or the social infrastructure, and how those types of the macro level social infrastructure impact on the individual level decisions and individual level outcomes, usually the health and family outcomes. And also in teaching expertise, I also teach many of the statistics courses and the research method, and many courses related with the health inequality and the inequality in the disaster, and many other outcomes in the sociology. So I have many of the pedagogical goals because teaching is one of my central interests and the central area. So many of my courses, including this course, I usually emphasize on the reading, because in this course I assign the textbook, which is the free one because this is free access. And based on the reading, you will discuss and you will learn based on my lecture materials. So based on the lecture, this is an online class, so it means that you don't need to come to the classroom and you don't need to be in the you know, to physically be on the campus. So in other meaning, this is online course, you may need to. So based on the 7 weekly modules, you will need to follow up the progress of the course based on your own efforts. So there are many assigned course activities, including the weekly, the module quizzes, and many of the class discussions, and some of the short and the long writings, and also the exams. So in terms of the general description, this course is planned to provide very elementary level or the very basic levels of the sociological ideas and sociological theories as a discipline. So you will have many opportunities to be exposed to the very basic notions and the concepts of the sociological findings. So if you have the access to the internet and the respectful manner, and if you have eagerness to learn about the sociological concepts, you are very ready to take this course. So objectives, these are very big pedagogical goals. So objective 1, acquire introductory level of knowledge of the sociological concepts and the theories. And objective 2, understand both individual and the macro level causes and the explanations of the real examples of the sociological issues in the United States and in the world. And objective 3, compare and contrast theoretical models and decide which one offers the most reasonable and the better explanations about the sociological findings and the sociological happenings in the world and in the United States. So these are not very, very clear sometimes. So in the syllabus, you will see more quantifiable and measurable outcomes. Or each module and each topic, I will provide some more specific class on objectives other than this one. So all the course materials, so you don't need to purchase, or you don't need to find other materials outside of this course website. So all the course materials will be posted on the Canvas system, which is the course management system of the Arkansas State University, and AOS course. And also, you don't need to purchase the textbook because I value the open access, which means the free access of the materials. So you will find the main textbook, which is the Introduction to Sociology, 3rd edition, on the OpenStax. So that the link can be found on the Canvas of the course website. And this is the main textbook. And there is another one as a supplementary textbook so that you can skim that based on the chapters. But in most cases, the main textbook will be the main reading requirements before the class and during the class. So the regular course activities. So after reading the assigned chapters, I will post the lecture, the summary of the lecture, which means I cannot cover everything of the textbook. Each chapter, and there are so many concepts, and in the limited time, I cannot introduce everything on the textbook. So other than a very, very detailed lecture, I will deliver a very summarized one. I will introduce the very basics of the chapter and provide some of the examples. And there will be the lecture slide. So these are the very summarized version of the textbook chapters and extra materials. So after reading the chapters in the textbook and after having my introductory summarized lecture, and after reading on the lecture slide, I will post on the course website. You will have the very good chance to capture the meanings and the theories and many of the important notions of that course materials. And then based on that, you will have the opportunity to use your knowledge based on the discussions and the writings and writing assignments and the quizzes based on the topic. And respecting others. In the discussion, we will cover sometimes very sensitive topics like gender and the race and ethnicity and the class and others, such as religion. So if we keep the respectable manners, we will have the very safe environment to communicate in the respectful manner and in a very safe environment. And on-time submission of assignments will be also very important because there will be naturally some of the late the submission penalties, but also this is an online course, which means you cannot meet me on the physical manner in the in-person manner, and it means that if you miss or if you have some of the delays of the submitting those assignments, you will have many of the piled up, many of the accumulated number of the assignments by the end of the semester. You cannot follow up. So I highly encourage you to put the very high priority for this course so that you can follow up the progress on time. So submission assignments will be based on the PDF and on the Word document format. So if you use the Mac OS, sometimes in many cases the numbers and the papers, these are not working very well with the Canvas system. So please turn in your assignments in the PDF or MS Word format, as long as I do not request to put the tests on the website or something. And there are many of the module quizzes. Again, you will read. So first of all, you will need to read the chapters assigned based on the schedule, which are clarified in the syllabus and the course website. And I will deliver a very short, relatively short lecture, which is very summarized version of my PowerPoint slide. And after reading the chapters and the lecture slide, you will have the module quiz. So within one module, usually there are 2 topics, and each topic would have the quiz. And in most cases, I can say that every quiz has the 5 questions, but most of the quizzes they will have the 5 questions in total and 10 point total. And you will have 20 minutes to complete that quiz. So each quiz, you will have 5 questions and you will need to finish within 20 minutes. So you will have the multiple chances to complete the quiz. So you will keep the highest score other than the lowest score, so that you can keep the highest score so that you can have the guaranteed score in at the end of the semester. So there will be some writing assignments. So first two writing assignments will be, so I will assign the articles that you can find on the website. And I will provide very good details of what should you answer based on the reading. So there will be very basic formats of the questions, as for example, what is the major topic and what is the main arguments with that article, and how do you compare the main arguments of those two articles for something. So based on the reading, you will have the opportunity to provide a very detailed review of the sociological articles. And the third writing assignments, they will be the larger than other assignments. So I will assign the multiple articles so that you can have opportunity to compare on those articles covering the same topic in the United States or in the world. And there will be also the class discussions after the topic. So there will be some multiple number because we have the 7 weekly modules, and each module, it's not every module, but each module would have the 2 topics. So after completing each topic, you will have the chance to have the class discussion. You can share your ideas and your understanding about that topic. And then, as I mentioned in my pedagogy, we will follow the reading on the chapters and the reading on the lecture slide and the learn. And based on the discussion and the writings, you will enhance your understanding about the sociological concepts by this course. Alright, again, and based on the discussion and based on the communication with your instructor or other students, please let's have the best levels of the respect, except or the excluding any formats of the discrimination and the hate speech or others, so that we can keep the very safe environment of the class. And if you have any issues, impacting on your progress of the class, please contact the instructor as soon as possible. Because in the most of cases, as long as we know about your issue very far in advance, there are more likelihood to fix or to resolve your issue. But if you just let us know your issue at the very due date or the final day of the class or at the day of the exam, which is very hard. It's almost impossible to fix your issues like computing issues or your account issue like that. So please make sure to check the website very regularly and check the emails and check the communication so that you can follow up and you can keep your progress very well. So based on the weekly and the weekly module schedule, so in the module 1, we will cover very classical foundations of sociology. So for module 1A, we will have the quiz because you will need time to get very smooth landing for this course, but I will introduce very basic some of the sociological theories. And module 1B in the week 1, I will cover about the culture and the society, which is also very foundations of the very common knowledge and the common promise in the United States and in the world. And in week 2, we will cover the socialization and the social interaction, which is the very micro level, but also impacting on the macro structure of the society. And also the social control and the crime and deviance. So this is my department in sociology and also the criminology. And there will be many of the items and many of the knowledge you can see about the criminal justice and the crime theory. The week 3, we will cover the very basics of the stratification, the inequality in the world or in the United States. And also the race and ethnicity and possible ethnic or the racial discrimination. And week 4, you will have the midterm exam. The module 4, on the earlier part will be the midterm exam, and very details will be uploaded on the course website. And module 4B on the gender and sex and sexuality. And week 5, which is module 5, you will cover, or you will learn the marriage and the family, and also religion and education as the weekly topic and the weekly discussion. And module 6A, work and occupation economy, and the health, which are very big topics. Alright, in the final module, you will learn the population and the demography and environment. And as the last one, you will have the final exam. So again, for the first lecture, after watching this video, please go to the chapter 1 and 2, because you will cover, or you will learn the basic foundations of sociology. So I highly recommend you to read the chapter 1 very carefully. And the chapter 2 is the research method, so you can just skim on the very big items in that chapter. Alright? So, thank you very much for your time to watch my video, and see you in the class lectures.